Today is my crochet along kickoff. I have got some plans. I have some co-hosts in here today. I have just got a madhouse. So if you are up for that, grab your project, grab your drink, and welcome to the madhouse that is my place today. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here today. I do have Maya in here. I have Minnie. I have Tippy. These babies would not leave me alone today. I have been in here trying to get this thing recorded, and for one reason or another, they were just not having it. So I said, what about welcoming them in? So I tell you what, I have somebody here who y'all haven't seen in a hot minute. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Hey, baby. This is Maya. This is my co-host who hasn't been in here since the babies got here at Christmas time. And what? Well, she snuck in that one video. What? When I was telling y'all about that knit along. Yes. All right, go lay down. Go get the kitties. Mind the kitties. Make sure they're doing okay, okay? Anyway, how are y'all doing today? This has been a whirlwind of a day. Originally, I was going to... yes, huskies are very vocal. Do you want to go back out? Can you wait? Okay. The kitties are distracting her. Okay. I will be right back. Okay. So, apparently she had to go potty. Now, originally, all right, so let me start at the beginning. For those of you who are new, haven't been here before, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you are a returning viewer, y'all know me and my craziness. This just might be a little extra level today. This all started 8 years ago with this pillow. Okay? It was part of a crochet along that Sandra McButton, I think. Let me see. I have her Ravelry pulled up, so give me 1 second. Yes, Sandra McButton. And Minnie is crawling along on my table and trying to step on my laptop. Sorry, Minnie. Anyway, this is a pattern that is linked below. It is a paid pattern on Ravelry. It is €6.75. I don't know where. It says there's a free version also available, so let me click on that. I swore I went, okay. I thought so. The Ravelry pattern says there's a free version, but it links to a paid portion of the website. So it was probably a free version back when she was doing the crochet along back in 2017. That is no longer the case, and Tippy wants to say hi, but he just jumps up on my table. Minnie? Come on, Minnie. Minnie. This is why I don't let them in here. Anyway. She also had Esther do a YouTube tutorial on each section that is free, that is also linked down below. Now, you have your choice whether you want to do the entire blanket and buy the pattern, or do the tutorial with It's All in a Nutshell, which is Esther's channel. So whichever way you want to do it, you can. At the time I did the tutorial back in 2017, I just did the free tutorial, and I didn't want the entire blanket. The entire blanket is beautiful, but it just is not my style. So I did this, and I didn't want that same pattern on the back of my pillow. So I just did a huge, yes, it's got, how does it have pine chips on it? Hi, Tippy. Hi, buddy. It's a mama baby. Y'all, those kittens are my world right now. Well, they're my world, period. But anyway, so I extended the front here all the way up to the royal blue pattern, and I just did it on the back. I think I did more rows of each one, and then just did more of the navy to make it a good backside. Now, fast forward to January. I had shown that pattern for some reason. I can't remember. Fast forward to January. I had decided to do a stash busting 2026 challenge for myself. And I had seen back in 2024, a knitter had chosen to do a stash challenge to where she did 2,024 grams of yarn out of her stash. Well, I thought, how cool would that be for me to do? Well, 2,024 grams, which for me to do now would be 2,026, is roughly about 71.5 ounces, which is not a whole lot. So I decided to do a knit 2,026 grams and a crochet 2,026 grams. This came about because I was looking for something else to do. I had already had a scarf that I was doing, and I thought, what else can I do? And I saw the pillow on my couch, and I'm like, what if I do that, but in squares that I can sew together? So that's where this pretty baby came about. Now, when I showed this, I got a couple emails and asking, could I do a crochet along? Well, it's not my pattern. It's not even my YouTube tutorial. So I didn't think this through when I said, sure, we can do a crochet along, because we can. I can give you the resources that I used, and y'all can do that. But we can just do it all as a group, right? Now, on this one, I used white robin's egg. All right, this is all Karen 1 pound. I used white, I used robin's egg, aqua, and then deep sea teal. Warning, deep sea teal, as of today's recording, is not available on Yarnspirations. If you want this, Amazon has that. It's a 2-pack, I think for $17 or $19, which is atrocious to me for 2 1-pound Karen. But if that's the color you want to go with, that is an option. Now, since I had already done this, I was like, what other colors can I do on the crochet along? Y'all, my kittens. We're not going to fight on Mom's table. No, 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 no. We're not going to fight. Nope, thank you. Thank you. All right. So I thought, okay. Well, I had saved in my favorites this right here. Is that not gorgeous? Okay. This right here was an entire stash busting thing. And I was planning on doing another, for the crochet along, I was planning on doing my stash busting. Full disclaimer, I did have to go and get some yarn. Alright, I'm going to show you. This right here is my colorway. Let's see if I can grab it all at one shot. This is my colorway. Isn't that so pretty? Now, that you saw, and I'm going to post that right here. They're tearing my room apart. Minnie. 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 They're playing with the Walmart bag. Oh, Jesus! You okay? She tried to jump to get this bag, and she missed the chair and grabbed my leg. Okay, that's already bleeding. This is why I have so many scratches and marks on me. But this bag right here is simply because I had to buy this. I did not have burgundy in my stash. I did have, since I had to buy that, I went ahead and bought pumpkin. Because I do have a yellow, I do have an orange, but it is a big twist orange, and it's really super bright. It's that varsity orange. And the pumpkin is a little bit more toned down. So I thought, if I have to buy the burgundy, let me go ahead and buy the orange. All right. I had my cherry. Now, as you can see, I'm going to go through and find out. All right, I'm going to click on this. I have to go back to my favorites here. All right, so she used, Ravelry is such a great tool sometimes. She used burgundy in Red Heart Super Saver. She used cherry. Actually, she used all Red Heart Super Saver. So she used burgundy. She used cherry, which I did have in stash. She used burgundy. I'm looking at burgundy as I picked it up. She used pumpkin. Then she used saffron in Super Saver, which I did not have. But I do have Karen 1 Pounder in Sunflower, which is very close to the saffron in Red Heart Super Saver. Then she also used bright yellow, which I don't have in Super Saver, but I have it. I have varsity yellow in Big Twist. So I thought, how perfect would this be? I got to use 3 stash yarns, and then I had to buy the 2. And that's okay. I don't mind, because this isn't part of my stash busting 2026. I can use those pieces that I've got, but I don't need to. By the time I calculate my other, I should be well on to my way. All right. So these are going to be my colors. Now, I'm going to put over here the back side of her pillow. She inverted it. So over here, she's got the light to dark. All right. She goes in, starts with the yellow, and then she goes out to the dark, right? Well, over here, she did it opposite, and she started with the dark and went to the light. I love that idea. So if you're doing a pillow, you can do both sides. And I have thought about this the entire time I have been planning this cowl. My other blanket is going to be 6 of these squares. Okay, so how cool would it be for this sunset, and this is what she calls her sunset pillow. How cool will it be to do her version and change up, do 3 blocks, light to dark, which I couldn't do that in here because I only had 4 colors with this. I didn't have 5. Or, I mean, do that and then do 3 colors, 3 squares, dark to light. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do probably is do the first 3 blocks, light to dark, and then make my decision. Y'all will be there with me. I will take you and you know, what, if you like that idea, are you going to plan to implement it? Or if you're just doing a pillow shouldn't take you long at all because you just do the front and the back. If you do a pillow, are you going to do both sides the same, or are you going to do the color sequencing opposite, or would you do something like this and do, and y'all don't mind my poor pillow, this thing is 8 years old, it's been on my couch for 8 years. Would you do it like this to do the first 2 parts of the square and then turn it and do just the first part of the square? Let me know your plans. And I also have my Facebook linked down below so that we can have that in accent to the YouTube. And also don't forget, if you are participating, even if you're not participating, go down, if you're on your mobile phone, go down to the community post, because sometimes people are posting their things there too. All right, now I'm so excited to get started on this. It's not like I don't have everything else that I've got going on. I was so overwhelmed. I'm not even going to lie. I've been on and off crying all morning. Oh, my Jesus. Minnie, come here. Minnie, come here. She's on top. She's at the ceiling. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. They had to, they had to go back outside. Not outside, but they had to go out of the room. Because that scared me. I have, for those of you who don't know, I used to work at Joann. And we had these little wooden crates, little $5, $10 crates. They were pretty, they're on the relatively cheap side, but I was able to get enough of them to where I could make additional shelving on top of my bookcases. And she had crawled up on my old desk that has my TV behind the camera and got up there, and it was very unsafe. So I'm like, you know what? Just take a breath and let's get this taken care of so that I don't have to stress out that she's going to collapse everything and possibly get hurt. Now, oh, yeah, I was admitting that I have spent the morning on and off crying. Sometimes you just have those days, right? Well, today is that day for me. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it is what it is. So, now, this video is helping raise my spirits a little bit because I did not want to start this until I made this video and we got this kicked off today. Now, let me go through. I'm going to put another screenshot. Boy, my son is going to love me. I'm going to put another screenshot right here and it's going to have the amounts of what you need. Now, keep in mind, when I made this list, I had a request about how much these things would take. So I did a guesstimate, and when I say guesstimate, I just basically weighed the entire block and said, okay, this is probably what we're going to do. Well, then I said, that's not good enough for myself. I was like, that's not good enough. So I had to send it to my husband's Facebook so that I would have it in my messenger. I made this in all of its scrappy glory. It will be pulled out, but I needed to know how much of each color it would take. Now, granted, I had to blend some colors, like, let me see if I can find my list real quick. I had, yes, here it is. I had white and cream. Ramifications of having the kittens in here. Things are still falling. I had coral. I had 2 different colored greens. I had blue and black as one color. And then for another one, on the outside skirts of each rotation, I did red, purple, and then I have gray and white purple, which I did not use that color at all. So the purple out here and the red, you know, I weighed them. I weighed each one of these before I started, and then weighed them at the end after I used them, so that I would know out of the 5 colors how much you would need. So the first color in the center, you will need, which it's the center, and then it's this one right here. You need just as 0.95 of an ounce to do 1 square. And if you're going to do 6 squares, or however many squares you want to do, I'm going to give you both figures so that you know. But if you want to do just 1 for a pillow, or you want to do 2, for 1 square, you need 0.95 of an ounce. Okay, so you need at least an ounce. Or if you want to do 6 squares, like I'm going to do for my blanket, you need 5.7 ounces. The second color, which is the coral, you need 1.9 ounce for 1 square, or 6.54 for 6 squares. The third color is the 2 greens. That is this dark green, and then it's the dark and light green. You need 1.59 ounces for 1 square, or 9.54 for 6 of them. All right, for the fourth color, which is black and then blue, you need 2.1 ounces, 2.12 ounces for 1 square. If you want to do 6 of them, you need 12 ounces. A little over 12 ounces, because I just kind of rounded it on that. And the only thing, the 5th color kind of concerns me. Because it's saying I only used 1.05 ounces. Oh, I see why. Okay, so that's why. The purple and the red. The reason why it's only 1.5 ounces and not like the fourth color, I used 2.12 ounces. The reason for that is on the fifth color, you're only going to use this rotation and then, which is 2, and then only 1. So you're not going to use 4 full rotations. And this is not a full rotation because you're not doing a whole heck of a lot. You're not doing your corners. You're only doing these granny cluster pieces or these stitch clusters a few times on each side. So on that last color, on that fifth color, you only use 1.5 ounces, 1.05 ounces, sorry, or for just one. And then if you want to do 6 of them, you need 6.3 ounces. Now on the connecting, if you are going to connect them, now keep in mind, if you're going to do a pillow, you need to double those initial, the first amounts, like the 0.95 ounces, you'll need to double that if you're going to do both sides of your pillow in the same way. Maybe a little bit more if you choose the way I did the back of my pillow. Just make sure, it's always a good policy, and if y'all have been crocheting for a minute, you know this, but for those who you haven't, it's always better to buy a little extra and have some left over than to get and have to play yarn chicken. Yarn chicken is not my favorite game. Now keep in mind, when I made mine, I used a 6mm hook and I used Caron 1 pound. Okay. When I made this test square, I used a 6mm hook and Red Heart and Caron. Mostly Red Heart. Most of this is Red Heart. A couple of these are Caron, but most of this is Red Heart yarn. So the coral is Caron. But the whole situation with me explaining that is these amounts are me at my attention. This gives you an idea of how much you'll need. As with any pattern, with any body, you may crochet tighter, you may crochet more loose. Whatever the case may be, figure out from these numbers how much it took me. And then go a little above that. I would hate for you to order yarn or even use stash yarn and think you have enough and then be upset because you don't have enough to finish. I'm living proof of that. I just showed y'all that I didn't have enough of that deep sea teal on my last Wednesday update for my stash busting. I didn't have enough deep sea teal. And I only needed 3 clusters and then 1 more round of deep sea teal. That's the only reason why I didn't order any more off of Amazon. So I have enough of these. Now, let's talk the joining. If you're going to do a blanket, I don't know what color I'm going to join the sunset colors with, but aren't these beautiful colors? And I really did think that I had burgundy and maybe an orange. It wouldn't have been in Red Heart. It would have been in Crafter Secret from when I did that unicorn blanket years and years ago. Almost back when I did this pattern the first time. But I couldn't find it. And I thought I had it stored up under my bed and all my other stuff. But no. And if y'all been following my latest videos, you know I've got a lot going on right now. That's why I postponed this till March. Because February is my seed planting month, and I have to get everything kind of prepped. I do my seeds, and then I prep my greenhouse, and yeah, so it's always a thing. Well, now My son is getting the backhoe. He's renting the backhoe. It'll be here Friday, supposedly. So while I have this going on, I also have a knit-along going on. I'm not doing the knit-along. I'm participating in the knit-along. And it's not to mention I have the 12 cast stones that I'm still working on. I'm still working on that. Actually, the stash busting video and this stash busting, me putting this together, it's going to have to wait. It will still get done. It probably will have to wait until we are finished with this crochet along. So, yeah. All right. There's something I'm forgetting. I know there's something I'm forgetting. Okay. So here I am putting everything up, and I realized I started to say it, and then I had a squirrel moment and forgot. So I should have wrote out like an outline of what I needed to cover today, but I didn't, because like I said, my day's not been going that great. So forgive me, y'all. All right, so I was talking about the joining color. I don't know what I'm going to do for the sunset blanket. I don't even know what I'm going to do for this one. But I would recommend having at least one 7-ounce color that you want. One 7-ounce skein, or even more. If you have a Karen 1-pounder that you could make work. If you don't have a color in your stash, because I know a lot of you are having to work out of stash, and I know. Go ahead and make sure. Now, I might end up going black because I think black would accentuate the sunset really beautifully. So I may be going with black, and I have so much black in my stash, I don't have to worry about that. But just make sure that that you have enough left over for that. Or if you're going to do a total different color, make sure you have enough for that, okay? I covered what yarn I'm using. I covered how you can get it. The paid pattern if you want the full paid pattern, or if you want the free tutorials from It's All in a Nutshell. I did only use her first and second sections of the free tutorials on YouTube. Now, as a side note, I did originally write it down to where after I switched, because this is mindless right here. This is easy, it's mindless. But when you get here, every row is different. So I was writing it down because I did this 6 times. And trust me, you probably have better memory than me, but I don't anymore. Careful how you knock your head, people. Anyway, so what I did is I had written down notes for myself so that I could recreate it on each one, and then promptly lost it. Looked on my laptop and found that I had maybe 1 rotation done, and that was it. Before I gave up typing and decided just to write it, because sometimes this left hand doesn't respond still, and I would be typing and it would get all messed up. So I was like, writing only requires my right hand. So I wrote them on index cards and can't find them now. So I've been reading this, and I will probably continue just to read. I'll have this square with me. Even when I start to do the sunset squares, I'll just keep one of these squares with me so I can read it, instead of having to keep tying up either my TV or my phone, rewatching those sections of the tutorial. So whatever works for you. If you're good at reading your knitting and crochet, make one square and then just read it. If you're not, write it down. Or if you don't mind replaying that second section. Technically, it's the very tail end of the first section, because you have to do one whole thing in the back loop, and then you have to in the dark, like where I have the deep sea teal, you have to do one entire row in the back loop, and then you start with your new color. I think you start with your new color. Hold on, let me read it. All right, no. So, you add your new color while it's still on the first video, the first section. And then on the second, then it goes to the second section, and you change your corners. Like you were at a corner here, and then you change to this corner. Trust me, I'm making it more difficult than it sounds. If you want to watch the best tutorial on this, watch the free tutorials. She literally will hold your hand and walk you through step by step. There's no way I could ever improve on her tutorial, and I'm not even going to try. I hope she's still monetized. I hope she's still on YouTube and getting money from that video, because she's that good. Now, if y'all want, I said this in my other video, you can send me pictures of your progress. We can attempt a live every week, but I don't want to do that. No, that's the bad idea. Never mind. I still haven't figured out my situation with my lives yet. Or if you want to, I can have one live a month. I don't know. How long do you want to do this for? I'm not going to put a deadline on it, but I would say, sorry, my antivirus is outdated, and I have to click uninstall every time it popped up on me. But anyway, 2 months, would that be enough? Actually, I'm not going to put a deadline on it at all. How about that? As you show progress, or if you want me to show your progress, email me a picture, leave it on Facebook and say, add this to your next video, because I will be doing weekly updates to show you my progress and hopefully to show you others' progress. For those of you who are not in the Facebook group, right now I have 21 members in the Facebook group. So if they're all participating, and they might not be, they might just be there for other reasons. Just because, y'all just want to see what we can get, what kind of community we can grow on there too. Regardless, just email me, post it in the YouTube post community if you want me. And if you do want it to feature in one of the next videos, just tell me, say, put it up on the next video. And I will. Because I love, y'all don't understand, when y'all show me what you're doing, you know how you like to see when a podcaster shows you their work? Well, we're the same way. We love to see others' work. It's just, I think it's born and bred as part of a creator. Whether it's with yarn, video, fabric, it doesn't matter. We're makers. All of us. So, I am, let's see. It's not quite 2 o'clock. So I think I might be able to get started on this. Oh, wait. I need to put all this on the Facebook group, too. I will go ahead today and put the stuff on the Facebook group. And then when this video goes live tomorrow, we can start posting there. And I think I might just do a pinned post at the top if I can figure out how to do a pinned post. There's no guarantee with me because, y'all, this is all new to me. The uncharted territory, let me tell you. But, pardon me, I want to see your work. So I'm going to make sure that I can at least keep up with the Facebook group so that we can all share it. And I would love to see your colorways. Whether you can take a picture of it and send it to me, or whether you post it on community post, or even just tell me in the comments below what color combinations that you want to do. And let's get this cow going. All right? I'm excited. Even if I mess it up, I'm excited to be doing it because I love the idea of doing things with y'all. And it just brings it more into a hangout kind of format than just me sitting here talking about what I'm doing. It's something we can all do, right? Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I don't know, honestly, how long I've been recording. The puppy and the kitties and all that kind of distracted me, so it doesn't matter. Y'all have stuck with me, whether it's a 20-minute video, a 5-minute back when I worked at Joann's and I was just doing a little clip, to 20-minute videos, to an hour videos. So thank y'all for being you. I really appreciate it. And if you have any more ideas about colorways and whatnot, I would love to hear about them. And I'd love to hear what you're going to actually do with this. If you're going to do the crochet along. If you're not doing the elements, what are you working on? Because you don't have to participate in this crochet along to be part of it. You can even go over to the Facebook and post what you're working on, even if you're not part of the cow. Okay? I will see y'all in Wednesday's video. I don't know quite what that's going to look like, because it has been my 12 cast. Well, I have, okay. Actually, it's going to be a little bit about the 12 cast stones and maybe some more of this. I don't know. I had a chance to go. My daughter-in-law called me about a estate sale. And I didn't want to go by myself. She had already went with her mom and everything, so I didn't really want to go by myself. I was planning on going because she was showing me that they had some fabric, they had thread, they had yarn, which I didn't see any pictures of the yarn. And I really did want to go and maybe film some content for y'all, show y'all what I found, but I didn't want to go by myself. So, anyway, maybe another day. But it's not often you come across estate sales like that have those kind of things, because, yeah, it is what it is. But I'm going to get off here, and I hope y'all have the best day today. If you can, find you some joy in today. Grab a hold of it. Don't let go. I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.